Ladies, let me ask you this. Have you ever caught yourself watching reruns of Golden Girls with a bowl of tapioca and suddenly thought, wait a minute, am I slowly turning into Sophia? Well, don't worry. Wrapping up in a shawl doesn't mean you're about to kick the bucket. But here's the deal. Doctors say that around 6 months before someone moves on to the big craft circle in the sky, the body starts dropping subtle hints. Not flashing red lights, not smoke signals. More like whispering, hey, things are winding down now before you go diagnosing yourself because you forgot where you put your glasses again. Check your head, darling. Let's walk through the 6 surprising sneaky signs older women sometimes show before the final farewell. Stick around. This isn't morbid, it's liberating. Plus, if you stay until the end, I'll reveal what most women do in the final months that'll actually make you proud. Like, share, and subscribe, especially if you or your girlfriends are proudly 60 plus and fabulous. Let's dig in. Sign number 1. Nap Queen Energy. Narrator. Now we all love a good cat nap. Heck, some of us could medal in competitive napping. But if you, or your gal pal Mabel, used to be up at sunrise doing water aerobics and now you're catching Z's before breakfast, lunch, and the 4 o'clock Matlock rerun, it might be worth noticing doctors say excessive fatigue can mean the body's energy is redirecting toward internal systems that are quietly shutting down. The battery isn't recharging quite like it used to. But don't panic. 1 extra nap doesn't mean the curtain's dropping. It just means it's time to tune in. Question. Be honest. How many naps a day do you take now? Drop your answer below. And let's compare nap trophies. Funny side note, my friend Judy once fell asleep during her own surprise birthday party. And guess what? She said it was the best nap of her life. Priorities, ladies. Nap like a champ. But if you're clocking more nap hours than Netflix hours, have a little check-in with your doctor. Just in case. Sign number 2. Ice cream for dinner. Skipping everything else. Narrator. You used to make a mean meatloaf. Now the oven's collecting dust and dinner is half a yogurt and 4 thin mints. Oh, honey, been there. A dwindling appetite, especially for solid foods, is a big sign. The body's metabolism slows way down in those last 6 months. Digestion becomes less efficient and food just doesn't seem as interesting. But here's the kicker. Desserts? Always welcome. Apparently, sugar cravings don't retire. If your appetite's vanished but you're still hoarding peppermint patties, it might be time for a check-in, not a panic. One woman I met at a community center said, "At this point in life, if I want fudge for breakfast, I'm gonna have fudge for breakfast." And honestly, we respect that. Hit that like button if you or your aunt have a secret candy drawer. We know it's not that secret. Let's get real for a second. Food is emotional. A lot of women who are nearing the end of life start to prefer foods that remind them of childhood, like butterscotch pudding or peanut butter on a spoon. Something about that comfort is deeply human. Question for you. What's your ultimate comfort food? If it's something totally weird like pickles and peanut butter, we want to know. Sign number 3. Ghosting the Bridge Club. Narrator. You RSVP'd yes to Bunko night. But when the evening came, you were in your robe watching Hallmark instead. Sound familiar? Social withdrawal is a biggie. And no, not because everyone's suddenly boring. Elderly people sometimes begin to wrap up emotionally, pulling back from relationships or community events. It's the body and mind's way of preparing. Some women even start tying up loose ends, writing letters, giving away keepsakes, or just calling old friends one last time. And here's the beautiful part. A lot of women use this time to forgive. Others, to spill all the family tea. Either way, it's their way of taking inventory. What's your go-to social activity right now? Church potlucks, gardening clubs, or dancing in your kitchen with wine? Share it in the comments. Let's get interactive for a moment. Imagine this. If you had to throw a goodbye for now party with zero sadness, just good vibes, what would be the theme? Pajamas and pancakes, Elvis karaoke. Tell us below. Sign the 4 bathroom blues. Narrator. Let's have some real talk, ladies. If trips to the bathroom are more like rare sightings than a regular routine, your body might be trying to say something. Less urination and fewer bowel movements can mean kidney function is slowing, or hydration levels are dropping. Not uncommon when someone is nearing the end. Now listen, constipation isn't a death sentence, but if the usual prune juice isn't doing its magic anymore, it's time to loop in the doctor. And don't even get me started on hydration. If water had a fan, club. Every woman over 60 should be president. Bonus points if you have a favorite bathroom magazine. Mine's ARP Monthly. Soothing and informative. Like and share. If your bathroom has ever doubled as a reading lounge. No judgment. Let's be honest. Some of us treat the bathroom like a mini day spa. Got a candle in there? A crossword? Book? That's senior luxury. Sign Thumbra 5. Foggy thinking. Strange nostalgia. Narrator. Ever had a moment where you walked into the kitchen and forgot why you went in? So you made toast just to justify it? Mild forgetfulness? Normal. But full-on confusion, like thinking it's 1972 or calling your granddaughter by your old teacher's name, is something else. Doctors call it terminal delirium, or pre-terminal cognitive decline. And it often kicks in months before death. It's not scary if we understand it. It's just the mind drifting a bit. One woman told her hospice nurse, "I need to finish sewing my kids' Halloween costumes." Her kids were in their 50s. She wasn't confused. She was just time traveling. Have you ever time traveled by mistake? Tell us your funniest memory mix-up moment in the comments. We've all had them. And let's not pretend we don't. All get a little sentimental. That smell of old perfume. That song from your first dance. That ancient recipe card written in Grandma's handwriting. This kind of nostalgia? It's a soul thing. And sometimes it kicks in before goodbye. Sign number 6. I just know moments. Narrator. Now here's the woo-woo part. Many older women say, "I think I'm going soon." And no, it's not depression or drama. It's an actual uncanny intuition. They start preparing, giving advice, saying their final goodbyes, sharing secrets. And sometimes, those secrets are juicy. Hospice nurses swear by this. People often know when their time is near. If Aunt Millie starts handing out heirlooms and hugging you like she's memorizing your face, pay attention. That's love and legacy in motion. One woman even bought her own cake and said, "Have it ready in case y'all forget." Spoiler alert, they didn't. Here's a truth bomb. When we know the end is near, a lot of us get crystal clear about what really matters. Family, faith, forgiveness, and maybe one last dance to Aretha Franklin. Question time. What's one thing you'd want to say, do, or pass down before you go? Think about it. Then share. You might inspire someone else. Okay, ladies, now that we've covered the signs, let's talk about what really happens in those final 6 months. Because spoiler alert, it's not just laying in bed and whispering farewells. Nope. Some women throw farewell parties, go skydiving, or finally tell off their annoying neighbor, Carl. Sorry, Carl. Let's talk about the unexpected stuff. Buckets, but with glitter. The bucket list. Blitz. Some women, once they get a "you've got 6 months" nudge from the doc, go full Beyoncé mode. I mean, we're talking bold decisions, like booking a boudoir photo shoot. Yes, at 88. And yes, she wore feathers, getting a tattoo of her husband's initials on her shoulder blade. Not where you were thinking. Reconnecting with their high school sweetheart on Facebook and going on a date. She wore red lipstick and everything. Said she felt 25. What's one wild thing you'd love to do if you had 6 months left? Be honest. Skydiving? Salsa lessons? Finally learning TikTok? Let us know. Hit like if you're secretly planning your own glitter-filled bucket list. Soul-deep clarity moments. In these last months, many older women say they feel something strange, but peaceful. Like the fog clears. Suddenly, everything they used to stress about, wrinkles, what the neighbors think, if they burn the lasagna, none of it matters. What does matter? Holding a grandchild's hand, laughing so hard you snort, rereading your favorite book under a tree, watching a sunset with zero rush. It's like your soul says, this is the good stuff. Stay right here. Comment below with the moment you treasure most from this past year. Let's create a wall of wisdom together. Surprising acts of legacy. One woman we'll call Grandma Joe made a video diary for each of her kids and grandkids. Every birthday, every life lesson, even a 15-minute rant about never marrying a man who can't fix a toilet. Gold. Another woman crocheted mini blankets for every baby in her church that hadn't even been born yet. When the church started handing them out years later, her name lived on like a warm hug. You don't have to be famous to leave a legacy. Just loving someone well can echo for generations. If you could leave one piece of advice for your family, what would it be? Comment below. Your words might be exactly what someone else needs to hear.